What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Planet Zoo. As always, if you guys are enjoying this series, make sure you leave a like in the video. It'd be greatly appreciated. Additionally, if you're new here and you haven't seen any of my previous Planet Zoo videos, link to the series playlist is always in the description, so make sure you check that out. Now, I have done a little bit of additional decoration with some plants and things here at the zoo. Also going to go ahead and reveal our new zoo name. This is going to be known as the Zoogii Wetlands. So for today's episode, what I would like to do is actually get into Google Earth, because once again, this is very loosely based off of a zoo that I've actually visited once before, that being the Brevard Zoo in Florida. I believe it's Melbourne, Florida. So let's go ahead and tab over there. Actually, let me get this camera into position first, because I think this might actually blow your mind a little bit. Okay, here we are at the front of the actual Brevard Zoo in Google Earth, obviously, but you can see some definite similarities here as I start to tab in between these things, okay? It's gonna take a minute. It's gonna take a minute, but check that out. All right, so the original building, actually, this is the original building. This is a new building. We'll get into that here in a few minutes. But the original building just wasn't a good enough recreation of the original structure, so I ended up just kind of moving this whole thing out here and completely started over. Although I know it looks very, very similar, you can actually see we have like some proper supports and things going on. It just looks a little bit nicer. And then on the front, dude, I absolutely love how this sign came out. I think it's pretty similar to the actual Brevard Zoo signage, though we can't do like a tapestry or a big sheet like this. I do feel like we got it close enough. I definitely don't want it to be exact by any means, but definitely want it to look remotely similar. And actually, if we go back into Google Earth, you'll notice that I took a lot of inspiration, more than just the building from this zoo. I actually took a lot of their plant life for inspiration as well. Let's just go down here a ways. The parking lot is surprisingly similar, though again, not perfectly exact. So check this view out right here, okay? And then we're gonna tab back over into Planet Zoo, kind of get this camera angle changed slightly. It's pretty similar. It definitely is. It's not until we like completely zoom out that you'll be able to see their whole parking lot here. Again, it's very similar, but if we tab back over into Planet Zoo, get our camera angle roughly in the same location, it's, again, same, but different. I just thought it might be kind of cool to compare the real thing with our Planet Zoo version that we've created here. So the building, as it sits right now, I'd say is like 50% complete. We are going to be working on completing that here today, along with a couple of other things. But over here, I want to show you guys our new vegetation. So what we've got going on here are some custom bald cypress trees that I've created with some like roots and things going on. The main purpose behind these really is just so we can have a duplicatable group here that we can kind of paste around willy-nilly, because there is a lot of empty space, and because this is going to be loosely based on the Everglades down in Florida, I feel like this is a pretty good representation of their foliage. I've also spent quite a bit of time tweaking our little pond here in the front entrance, just ever so slightly. I've added a little bit more vegetation on the ends here. There is more vegetation that needs to be added for sure. I mean, everywhere throughout the entire place, not just this pond. But you know me and vegetation, it's not my favorite thing to do, so I kind of do it in small increments. But enough about all the plants. Let's get back to the main entrance over here. So as I mentioned, this is about 50% of the way complete. You'll notice the roof design has changed significantly from the original concept over here. This just wasn't cutting it for me. I really didn't like how it was turning out, so I think we're good to just delete that thing and move on. Now, because these wooden plank walls here were just temporary, I'm gonna go through and delete all of these, and we're gonna start bringing over some of these new walls that I've been working on behind the scenes. Believe it or not, this is a like multi piece wall right here. Let's see, how many pieces is that? Okay, that's only 15. That's not really that crazy. These over here, though, that's 60. This would be 82 pieces, and this would be 85 with the door. I wouldn't necessarily call these like highly detailed walls by any means, but it's definitely better than just one single panel like what we've got going on over there. So these here are going to be, I'm not 100% sure on the colorway just yet, but these are going to be replacing these walls on the longer sections, and then the little center bit right there. If we tab back over to Google Earth, grab our little character here, drop us down right in the front of this bad boy, Billy. We're going to zoom in, and you'll notice their little, like, ticket counter area. I've never created one of those in Planet Zoo, so I really wanted to try to replicate that as best I could. This is sort of what I've come up with for the front fascia of that building, and then we have the surrounding pieces as well. I think it's going to look pretty good, but I actually just had a thought. Wouldn't it be cooler, rather than trying to create my own interior for just this one little 4x4 square, wouldn't it be way cooler if we go into facilities and grab an info booth? Of course, now that I've decided to do this, it's not going to line up whatsoever with my original design, but I think we can tweak that slightly. Let's actually hit play here so we can see what the interior looks like for this thing. See, that would be so much cooler than what I had planned. I think we're going to go with this, dude. The green, also the green on the inside is close. I think we can get a bit closer color match here. It's got to be a little bit darker, a little bit lighter. Oh, dude, this is so tough to try to match colors like perfectly. Hang on, we'll get it. We'll get it. Just give me some time here. Okay, that looks pretty close from this angle. Of course, now you can't really see it because the... Oh, no, dude, that is way off. It's tough, too, because this is obviously a different texture than what we're using up here. So matching this is kind of a nightmare. Okay, for right now, I think this is going to be close enough. So what I want to do really quick is just kind of tweak this structure. And actually, I don't necessarily want to completely start over. So let's go ahead and just move this facility over. And then we can grab this whole structure so we don't have to change the whole thing and just duplicate it on over. All right, let the tweaking commence. I don't know about you guys, that looks pretty tweaked, if you ask me. I definitely like it a lot more than my original idea, because I was gonna actually force myself to create an interior, and there's just no shot that it would look this good. And now, of course, since we've changed all the green on that initial structure right there, now I have to go through, oh no, that's the tan. Oh no, that's the wood. Now I have to go through and select all of the existing green on these other walls and get those changed. All right, with those colors now adjusted, I think we are ready to start assembling this bad boy, at least like the central info kiosk. So we're gonna go ahead and just duplicate this straight up. Since we have the building selected as well, it's gonna keep everything sort of locked in this grid. So let's slide her on over here, and hopefully it still fits with my roof line that I've created. Oh yeah, dude, that's perfect. Abso-freaking-lutely perfect. Look at that. Okay, actually we need to click play. There is our vendor. Now they actually like jump over the front. You know how they do, right? Just like that. So my idea for this door was to actually place a fake door on the back side. But since they jump over the counter, is there really a need to do this? No, I just think, you know, visually it's going to look quite a bit better. Oh, no, that's too high. Whoops. I kind of messed that up. Hang on. Let's try that one mo again. But this time we're going to make sure that our grid height is altered and not at 0. It kind of just resets to that as a default value. There we go. Now everything is back on the same plane. Let's go ahead and slide that over there. If you guys are curious, the reason why I'm using these mud columns or cylinders, whatever they're called, is just so that we can keep everything when we're copying and pasting around, keep everything in that grid line. Just helps things line up quite a bit better. Makes building significantly easier as well. So now we've got to, again, lower this thing down to the same height the original was. Get this one rotated around this way, and then this one on the opposite side. Okay, perfect. Now again, we'll go through and get rid of these mud columns, mud pillars, and we are left with this beauty, dude. Check that out. Let's turn our camera light on. There we go, just so we can see a little bit easier in here. That looks fantastic. Oh, minus this. Oh no. Oh no, the original building I placed over here wasn't in line with or on the same plane. So let's do this all again. We'll just back up. It's no big deal. It is no big deal, but that vendor is going to be livid with us for sure. Okay, can confirm they are now the same height. So we're off to a better start now this time around.
A few moments later.
No way, dude. Are you kidding? It did it again. How did it do it again? I'm so confused now. I've realized what I've done. You guys remember when we copied this initial one? Well, the grid was on 0. The grid height was on 0. So now this one is just slightly elevated, more so than the others. So I've got to recreate this whole thing again. Quite a bit of extra work for just a small little 4x4 structure here in the center of the main entrance, but it does look really, really nice. Now, for this frontal part here, I do think I want to just increase the height of this green just a tad. There we go. I just wanted to see a little bit more of that black and white, whatever the heck that thing is. It's not even a curtain. That's like, it looks like wood almost. No idea what it is, but it looks really, really nice. Now I gotta remind myself what all the information center actually sells. The umbrellas I knew about, but I wanna see if it actually makes sense for an information kiosk to be placed kind of outside of the zoo. It looks like we have some adoption packs and maybe like an audio guide. So sure, yeah, people could stop here and purchase a few things before they actually enter on in. Of course, all their money is somehow magically taken as soon as they walk in through this little gate here or the one on the other side. And now that we've got that central bit completed, I'm going to duplicate one of these walls and paste it on over here because I'm not really 100% sure that I like this color. So what I would like to do is duplicate that and slide it just on top of this tan. That's really what I'm trying to match here. So I'm going to see if we can't find a slightly closer color. I'm thinking that's probably as close as we're going to get here today. It's interesting, something I never really realized before is when you're working with different textures, it almost forces you to use two different colors, right? Because the texture can either make something look, or make a color look lighter or darker, depending on what building block you're using. So now that we've adjusted that, I think we're good to change these entirely. Of course, we can't do the main piece, but we can do it sort of piece by piece. There we go. And then the main back wall, now that same tan color. Yeah, see, that looks a lot nicer. I don't know why, but this seems so dull to me. Now we just have to do pretty much the same thing we just did to these. Thankfully, they use similar pieces, so you can actually go through and change the color fairly quickly, whereas the other walls that we were working on, not so much. So we've got to select that, deselect the window, deselect the wall, change all the wood color. Now select the wall, select the window. No, we got to do wall, then window. Okay, those two we have to do separate. Okay, colors adjusted. Let's go through here and get all of these now deleted. The ends on the side of the building were kind of difficult for me to finish because you can see like down the main straight here, we have the supports kind of running this way, whereas on the sides, they're going the opposite direction. So I wasn't really sure how to map out where the pillars would go on this side, but I think we've landed on something pretty dang solid. Let's just continue going through here and deleting all these weak walls, dude. Good thing these are a placeholder, because that wouldn't have looked good for very long. All right, and now we can start assembling this. So based on the Google Earth stuff that we've been looking at, it looked like they had a door like right here. Let's tab back over to that so we can take another look. We are way zoomed in. Oh yeah, they have like a little storefront or something right there. They've got, oh, I didn't realize they had like double windows. I thought all their windows were singles. It'll still work. It'll still work. And like over here, it looks like they used to have windows, but those have since been boarded up. But look at the picnic table thing. Now are you guys kind of seeing it? The more I tab in between these, dude, the more I really start to see the resemblance. So we're going to start with the door right here, and then we'll do another door just a little bit further down, probably right there. And then on the back side, we'll do a door just in the center. It's a lot of doors. I know it's a lot of doors. But if we get them spaced out properly, I think it's going to look pretty good. Over here, we'll do a door clear on the end. Maybe have a door right there. Sure, why not? And then over here, we'll do a door on the middle. Now for the windows, we're going to do a window here. A window here. We'll do like the flat wall, or the boring looking wall there in the center. And then on this side, I'll do a window just to the left and the right of that door. We'll do some windows actually on the inside as well. There we go. That's looking pretty good. Now back here, I think we'll just do one window in the center there. Working our way around. We'll kind of mix this one up. We'll do windows on the sides right there. Okay, so the two like wings of this building aren't going to be exactly the same. So lastly, we're going to come through and add in the more basic looking wall. But I think it's necessary. You know, you can't have like a decoration on every single wall panel. There we go. Keep working our way around. You guys, this is looking so good. I knew it was going to look good, but I didn't actually do any testing off camera, like assembling this. I was just really hoping that it would kind of come together. Oh my god, you guys. Peep this. Gee, okay, the mud columns gotta go though. Let's get rid of those before we really start checking this thing out. I'm gonna drop down using Explore mode. This is seriously my new favorite camera mode, you guys. I just love the fact that like we can be first person, you know, it just really sets us into the zoo, makes us feel like we're actually here, and I appreciate that. So check this out. Now the main entryway, hang on. This is the shot. Let's go back. Look at this. Look at this. The resemblance, dude. It's uncanny. Again, it's not perfect. It's not meant to be perfect, but it's really, really looking good. My God. Okay, not to pat myself on the back or toot my own horn, but this is really coming together, you guys. I am absolutely loving this. So there's a lot more like little piddly decorations and things that we need to be adding. On the actual zoo, they have like an entrance sign or something. It says tickets maybe. I definitely want to add a few things like that. But come to think of it, I don't think I really mentioned this in the initial episode. I feel like there's a lot of stuff that I meant to say and just kind of forgot about. So the main idea with this, let me go back to our main camera angle here. The main idea with this is, like, the reason we did sandbox mode and not franchise mode is so I could basically create this. And then what I'm planning on doing as we like start to get into the actual zoo creation, not just the front entrance and the parking lot, I want to go into the settings under the sandbox stuff, and there's a lot of stuff that we can change in here. Like we can enable cache, we can enable CCs, right? All the stuff that the franchise mode has kind of makes it seem a little bit more realistic. You know, I don't love having unlimited money. I don't love having unlimited conservation credits because it kind of just makes it feel like you don't really have to work towards anything or work hard for anything. So I do want to change a few settings after we get this facility up and running. So hopefully that is cool with everyone. Hopefully you're on board. But I think that's actually where we're going to wind this episode down at for today. I really just want to take my time on this one, you guys. So the episodes might not be the longest. Hopefully you guys still enjoy. I know there's a couple of people that do like the speed build, the time-lapse thing, and then they do a voiceover on top of that. That's just not my kind of video. I don't really enjoy making videos of that style, so this is how we're going to structure things. Again, hopefully you guys are on board, but that is going to do it for this episode. Again, if you guys did enjoy, please leave a like, leave a comment, help support the dream by smashing that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Peace.